Motrimis mama la capre, motrimis mama la capre.
Previously on
Let's get it on! And here we are at the beginning of the battle at the right flank. And how do we know this is the right flank? Because King Tarbos, the first to his name, the king of the Getae and the first man, the godfather himself, is always right. The shirtless man that came to the front line without even wearing anything during winter are not doing so well.
We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Welcome to another exciting new episode of Let's Get It On. This is February of 277 BC, and we just I lost the original footage, but I will try to recreate the best as I can my initial astonishment to recent events. Our lovely wife, our dearest wife, that we invested so much time and money into sending her to our neighbors that we wanted to cultivate relations with. She kept doing scene after scene after scene for 4 months straight that she spent there. Eventually, the Katiroi got fed up with her, and they bitch slapped her. Eventually, a message received. We stopped sending our wife to try and woo them. Instead, we adopted a more direct approach, and that was to slaughter our mutual enemies, the Bastarnos. Then we had to choose to go to war with another faction, and of course our wife really wanted to avenge her honor. Long story short, we didn't do that. We went to war, or more or less were forced to go to war with the Duchy. And looks like our wife really took that to heart. She plotted to get herself adopted. A 26-year-old woman planned to get herself adopted. She basically ransomed us for like 2,500 monies, and as you can see, that's almost all the monies that the whole kingdom has, in order to stop that process of her getting adopted. So eventually, calm King Tarbos, the first to his name, the king of the Getae and the first man, the godfather himself, eventually told her, you know what? You go, beep, you go and get yourself adopted, you silly 26-year-old woman. We have no idea who actually adopted her. Might have been Bikili, who is 26 as well. So I don't even want to think about the actual relations there. So now he is our brother, or he is our he is our father-in-law, I guess. Oh my God, Bikili, the father-in-law of the king. What an interesting turn of events. I think King Tarbos, the calm King Tarbos, actual reaction to this would be, oh my God, all this worrying and faffing about, I've been neglecting my own family. And look at this, his wife, who used to be ambitious, now she is a quiet wife. I didn't even know this could change, but interesting. And actually, it's so funny because her ambition is one. She should just stay with us. Anyway, since he has been, at least in his mind, thinking that he has been neglectful to his family, he will actually spend the precious money he has on sending one of his children, the only kid that he can send, Brandusha, to get herself educated. It will cost us 1,816 monies, but that's a fraction of keeping her mother from leaving him. So accepted. And by this rate, we will never ever have enough money to even start the silly mines that are closed in Petrodava. Next logical course of action would be to hunt down and hopefully strangle with our own hands the blasphemous king that I already forgot his name, Theomarcos. Anyway, his name will be struck from the annals of history, and it will be as if he never existed. The coward that he is hiding with 35 of his closest bodyguards and some local hunters in our own woods. In our own woods. Imagine that. He thinks he can get away with it, but no, we will slaughter him immediately. Here we are in the outskirts of Malva. As you can see, the great village of Malva. You can see it now because of the fog. And we are chasing after a heretic king and his supportive logistic units of a few bowmen, and here he is. Now of course we won't be utilizing all of our army, only the cavalry, Kostico, the King's Guard, and the princelings. And it's actually quite annoying because the king of the duchy is an archer, a cowardly archer in full plate armor. Well, not plate, but for us this might be full plate armor because we can barely afford any iron to do anything with it. And look at how he fights. This is not the Dacian way. First of all, he wears armor, which is a big no-no for us. Ooh, what a lovely tree. A big no-no for us. Then he also rides a horse, which is unpopular. And then he also shoots a bow, which is the cowardice thing one can ever do. But we are slowly gaining on him, and it looks like yeah, the princelings got into a small skirmish with the hunters that are supporting their heretic king, and made a short work out of them. Kostico came to help, but help was not needed. Now, as you can see, the king, because he's an archer, he is a lot lighter on his foot, so we actually have to use the princelings to chase him down and pin him down until the big boys show up. And this is where we lose, I think, 9 men or something like that. Some eager, oh, you see, like this guy, eager youths trying to prove themselves in the eyes of their fathers in the King's Guard, and try to maybe be the one to kill the heretic king. But no, of course, it's as if it was preordained, but Kostico, the man who studied the blade, managed to kill the heretic king that we don't even remember his name. And maybe we should take a minute to acknowledge the feats of Kostico, the heretic king slayer. Now, Kostico himself claims to be Dacian, but we don't really believe him because he has a distinct Germanic smell to him, but it's neither here nor there. He is a very professional man of few words. When initially contacted, he told us the following.
When you were plowing the fields, I studied the blade. When you were having premarital sex, I mastered the blade. While you wasted your days in the pursuit of vanity, I cultivated the blade. And now that the duchy are at our gates, you have the audacity to come to me for help? It will cost you.
And we paid, and now we are reaping the rewards in the form of a beheaded duchy king. Yep, this is the consequences of heresy. An axe and a sika to the head, and then a horse will defecate on your body. And seems like we lost 5 precious people in this scuffle, and we killed 78. So the odds are good. But the main question is, what will we do with the 9 enemies that we captured? Of course, our initial thought will be to slaughter them for heresy, because we're way beyond ransoming them, because they already had the chance to do that when we had the fight. They should have surrendered here in this lovely spot, but no, they ran away into the woods hoping for salvation. So for that they will win a lifetime of servitude to honor Zalmoxis, our true god. They will be basically donated to the Zalmoxis church, and hopefully they will do stuff with them that will benefit the church. So next time when you think about going against Zalmoxis, you think twice We will probably tattoo them or some mark them somehow, you know, to be a reminder to anyone who has heretic thoughts. And just before we end the turn, I should do some honorable mentions. First, I looked into divorcing our wife, and I think it might be easier to just assassinate her. The divorce will cost us 484 monies, which we have. It's quite a sum, but she has a lot more gravitas than us, so we can't even attempt it. And we also got some interesting auxiliary, a tattooed madman who will help us with morale against Hellenic factions. I don't know where we got him. Apparently he was one of the Daci. Just one of those tattooed madmen that you meet in Dacia. So this will help us if we ever manage to fight the Greeks. And we also found a shield bearer, and I think it will go very well with the Daci and his whole shtick of being able to defend the motherland. And welcome to March of 277 BC, where the only thing that we will do is stop patrolling for heretics in the woods and slowly crawl towards the Daci. And the Daci retreated to Pelendava, where they hide among their garrison. The wrath of Sabazois, I guess they're just rotating our gods to see which one actually answers their prayers, is growing. They have 7 units. We still don't see two of the units, which might be a problem, or it might not be. And welcome to the lovely month of April. We patrolled a bit, looking for more heretics up the mountains, and then we came to raid the lands of the Daci. The Daci begged for peace, but they only offered a meagerly sum of 100 monies. And why take only 100 monies when you can take all of your monies? So we of course refused. And oh my Zalmoxis, what is this? What happened? A disaster struck? Is it a disaster, or is it a blessing in disguise by Zalmoxis himself? It seems like the Daci they offended Zalmoxis so much that he actually sent the Scordicii to kill them. It will save us the indignity of kinslaying. Scordicii would be the ones to do it. We can actually come and help, but no. No way, Jose. Actually, the Daci have quite an army, but the Scordicii have more, so that's why they will probably get pwned. So we will not participate in this, but this action by the Scordicii settles it. We will have to go to war with them next. Well, isn't this just even more wonderful? A dangerous rival. This man's ambitious seems insatiable. In the long run, he could prove a dangerous opponent. Perhaps we should act on it while it is still possible. Well, if the chaos wasn't bad enough, we also have some kind of a political rival making a move. The first option is totally out of the question, paying again like 90% of all of our income in order to make him a governor. Just no. It's either arrest him, we lose influence and loyalty, or just execute him, or do nothing for now. So I think our only actual options is execute him or do nothing. Well, if he is dangerous, let's think. Well, our king is calm and he is a bit busy with other things. So I guess this would be a successful maneuver by our rival. We will actually do nothing about it for now. And welcome to the month of May, where King Tarbus adopted a sheep. This is the biggest thing that happened this month. Of course, other than the Scordicii invasion and absolute obliteration of the Daci. Yeah, that might have been a bigger deal. So this means war. Actually, another thing that happened during the in between time, the Apuliae came from here and struck this army, the Brazen Bears, and almost cut it in half. I think they lost because they retreated, but look at how much they decimated them. So looks like Zalmoxis is really looking after us. And also this army, the Howling Wolves, is also suffering quite a bit, not to mention the local garrison that only has 4 units of more or less nothing. So we will first of all stop raiding and calmly talk to the Scodicii, who already hate us for reasons that are beyond our control. So we will officially declare war on them and hopefully make some friends with both the Revishi and the Apuliae. So here comes official war. Yes, you do not scare us. Should we hire more mercenaries? What? Long story short, we can't afford any mercenaries. So here is the assault on. Actually, let's take a moment and look exactly who we are fighting. We are 3,256 men in 16 units, fairly full strength, and we are facing 3 armies that total to 27 units. Now, the main army that we are facing is actually the General Busumaros that took over Perendava from the heretical duchy, and he is in a unit of almost a dead unit of heavy Celtic shield wall, and he has a lot of these are levies, and these are their light spear. I think these are similar to what we have, and they have 2 units of cavalry, which is quite unusual for the Scodicii. These are thank God that their elite units are almost dead. These are Celto-Thracian swordsmen, and they bite. And they have some range units and the equivalent of our youth. The garrison is not even worth mentioning. And this is their king, who also only has 25 bodyguards in his king's guard unit, and he only has the levies of all kind. First of all, the light spear units, 3 of those, 3 of the really bad levies, and 1 unit of actually people from the Alps came to help. Interesting, and more. Thank God there's only 40 of them, actual warriors, and even fewer youths. So yeah, now I understand why this is so much in our favor. They're chaff. That's all they have. They have like all together. They have like 1 fighting unit that isn't some kind of levy, and maybe the cavalry will be annoying to chase down. But all in all, this is looking good. Thank you, Zalmoxis.